Welcome back, everyone. We are here on Worlds Beyond with Cam and Ron. We are back as the fall has begun.
I know, finally.
Spooky season. Actually, Cam, you were just starting to tell us that you've been catching up on some horror movies lately. What have you watched recently?
Both the original House of Wax and the remake, which is not really related in any way besides the title and like basic concept, but I really like both of those. And
all I know is Paris Hilton.
Yeah, there's a really...
She has literally just about to say that.
Hilarious death scene. She gets impaled and flies through a piece of wood or something. It's hilarious. Both of them are really fun, and obviously the Vincent Price one is a lot more of a classic spooky horror movie, and then the remake is more of just like a teen slasher, but they're both kind of fun in their own ways. And then I watched Night of the Demon as well. I try to watch that every year. I love that.
That's
a great one. Yeah, we watched that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
You introduced me to that. Yeah.
Oh, I watched Guillermo del Toro's first movie, Kronos. That was very good. I'd say that's worth a watch.
Really? I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
1992. And Ron Perlman is in. I didn't realize that they'd been working together for pretty much his entire career. It's mostly in Spanish, and Ron Perlman goes back and forth, but there is a decent chunk of it that's in English. And it's his typical kind of like horror-adjacent, fantasy, spooky kind of fable tale. But I thought it was good and definitely worth a watch. I'm going to try to watch some of his other stuff before Frankenstein comes out.
I know, that's actually something we should talk about. So I think I asked you guys on text the other day about The Bride, because I saw that trailer, and I'm like, kind of on the fence. It looks interesting, but kind of bizarre. But tell me more about the monster one that you were talking about.
You mean the Guillermo del
Toro one?
Frankenstein?
Yes.
Oh yeah, well that's...
Is it called Frankenstein? I thought it was called Monster for some reason, no?
No, it's just called Frankenstein. And that's supposed to... Yes, I think that's coming out in a few weeks. It's already premiered. A bunch of horror just premiered at, I think it's Fantastic Fest last weekend or 2 weekends ago. So we're starting to get a lot of the kind of initial reactions. Very excited for Chris Stuckman's horror movie Shelby Oaks. That's shaping up to
seeing that.
Sounding like it's going to be really good.
Oh, really?
The guy who's the guy with the beard who does his movie reviews on YouTube. I think we've watched some of those.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got a horror movie that he just came out.
Oh.
His directorial and film debut trailer looked good.
I'll have to give that one a watch then too.
It's obviously not like it's lower budget, but all right. But that's not why we're here today. We are here today to discuss The Conjuring, the final chapter, The Last Rites. Conjuring, The Last Rites.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all finally seen it. I finally saw it yesterday with my dad, who was like, he actually liked it, but he missed some of the dialogue. So, but he wasn't like "Rawr" afterwards. So
that's a good sign.
So anyway, but Cam, I know this one was a big one for you, so I'll let you start and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I don't think it still didn't quite reach us. The last two haven't been directed by James Wan, and I think you can kind of tell because it didn't quite reach the same level of scariness and kind of craziness that he does. But I thought this was really solid. It was a lot more kind of character and dynamic, like focused on the characters and the interactions, and that can be hit or miss. But I thought obviously Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are excellent, and they've been around the block a few times. And I really liked the girl that they got to play the older version of their daughter. And then there was a boyfriend character and fiance that kind of came in. And I just thought it all kind of tied all the family dynamics and like character interactions together really well. Overall, I thought that was kind of the strongest point for me. I thought the scare scenes were pretty good. Nothing... obviously, the finale was the big... all the Conjuring movies are always just go crazy, almost like action movie level at the finale, and this one was no different. I think it got a little silly with the mirror spinning and flying everywhere, and...
100% agree.
But and that's the thing is like James Wan can do these crazy action, almost like action set pieces in these horror movies, and they're silly and they're crazy, but they still feel like tense and scary. And I don't think anyone else has been able to kind of replicate that as much. But I think all the kind of character work and interactions really kind of elevated this movie beyond just being a generic jump scare fest.
I completely agree. I really liked your assessment. The characters, the plot, I thought was excellent. And a really nice wrap up for the Conjuring series. Like, they did a really nice job tying it together. I mean, I personally loved how they used, it was like the last case that the Warrens actually did, and how it, paralleled that family, and how they just, even though they had to come out of retirement, and, they had to do what they had to do because their daughter got involved. I thought they tied it together really nicely. I thought it was great, but I agree, not scary. I feel like we've seen it all,
Right. Overall, I enjoyed it. It was, first and foremost, it was a 2-hour and 15-minute horror movie, which is like a big no-no for me usually. And but I didn't feel like it was too long, and it was definitely telling this family story. And just from like a filmmaking standpoint, it felt like they really wanted to. They had the big, sequence to open the movie up with the mysterious mirror, and she's pregnant. Lorraine Warren, it flashes back to 1964, and then you get this really sort of very evenly paced family story that just slowly, and the parallel of what was going on with the Warrens was what was going on with the Smurl family, and then it's slowly built into, obviously the finale and them having to get involved in that case. And so I agree with you in that sense. It almost felt like not like a horror movie in some senses, because so much of it was focused on the characters and the stories of primarily the Warren family and then the Smurl family as well. And a lot of time I feel like was spent on the family dynamics, like just the noise at the kitchen table when they're having dinner and everybody talking and like all of that stuff. And it seemed to be really trying to bookend, like you said, Jen, all of these Conjuring movies, which are all, in a sense, family movies. They're all about something that happens to a family and then how the Warrens help them out. So, yeah, overall I enjoyed it. The finale was good, and there are some action beats, like the car. When the boyfriend fiance was grabbing the car to try to, when they were trying to get rid of the evil mirror. Sorry if that's a little bit of a spoiler. But
I think we're gonna just do spoilers when we talk on this podcast.
And the car has to lose control and crash into the fence just to make it more of an action thing. And the guy has to fall down the stairs, and then the mirror, hurts his ankle. He
crushes his leg and scrapes it. Oh, that gave me heebie-jeebies on that scene.
So it was kind of funny. And the thing I think about too is like all of these Conjuring movies, because it's these paranormal infestations, which are like somewhere between poltergeist and possession and on how these things sort of insidiously kind of just creep into these families' lives and everything. So a lot of the scare scenes and a lot of the, whether it's the creepy demon guy and the coming off upside down over the roof and everything else, they're going to be repetitive. It's like mining a lot of the same territory in terms of where you get your scares from. So kudos to them. Some of them, there was a couple of jump scares that still caught me, and I thought there was some cool, creepy scenes. And then there was other stuff that you're like, we've seen this now, multiple times. But that's my initial reaction. What other thoughts you guys have about cast? Or
to echo again what Cam said, I thought the cast was fantastic. I mean, as we know, the Warrens, the actors that play the Warrens have been around the block a few times. This isn't their first rodeo. I just thought it was very well executed. I thought they did a great job acting like an older couple. I thought Ed's heart attack scenes though were so long and pronounced, and then all of a sudden he was fine, and then he was like grabbing his chest again, and I was like kind of back and forth, and I'm like, But I thought that they just did a really great job playing older characters as well. Like, it was very believable, like, how they portrayed them. So I thought they did a great job. I thought the cast was fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked the kids in the Smurl family. I thought they all did a great job.
Oh, yeah, the two older daughters.
Yeah, the two older daughters and the two younger daughters. And just, and some of the best creepy stuff that happened was, when the one daughter who had her confirmation, when she was going on the VCR and trying to figure out who blew out the candle.
Oh, that was good, yeah.
Party. And then that was a really good scene. And then the girl, one of the younger daughters when her
doll.
her doll like started flipping out in the room and all that stuff. Yeah, there were some good scenes, definitely good. And that Mia Tomlinson who played Judy Warren, the Warren's daughter, she reminded me a little bit of Zooey Deschanel. I thought she looked a little bit like her parent, but apparently she's some British actress.
She's
I don't think I've seen her in anything, but she's looked familiar.
Yeah, she did. I don't know if that was why, but I thought, and I can't recall, it's been a while since I've seen the other ones. The plots of these is in terms of like what is the source of this haunting and where does it come from and what is its objective, and then how everything gets worked out always seems really like super vague to me. Like, so this mirror had these 3 demons in it, but they were like covered, and like when they originally found it, I can't remember where they were when it was the young Warrens in 1964, just that woman whose dad committed suicide, and she was starting to hear the voices. And so was it did this demon like want Lorraine's baby, and that's why the baby almost died, and then it didn't succeed, so it was chasing them, and then
I'm not sure, but I do think the spirits, I think I remember them saying in the movie that they died on the property.
Well, that was the whole thing. It was like there was some history behind the location where the Smurls' house was that went back to farmland and whatever, and there was this kind of tragic Lizzie Borden-ish sort of events there. But Lorraine also said the demon behind it all was like using those 3 people as a mask for who it really was and whatever, and then they, of course, this thing like causes the priest to kill himself, and then there was like the 3 evil versions of the Warrens in the mirror in the last battle, and I was just like, what were they fighting, and like did they use their like Wonder Twin powers to like stop it at the end? I was just like, it's always so like vague what is really going on. And I like these kind of movies, but I like it when I find them the most interesting when they come up, when there's this really cool backstory and reveal of like, oh my god, it's like, blah, blah, blah. And this was kind of more just like vague demons that are pissed off at the Warrens for like snuffing out all their other hauntings. But whatever. But what were some of your nitpicks?
I agree. Actually, that was the thing coming out of the movie that I said to my friend was like, we really don't know anything about the demon at all. Like the previous, they've all been vague to a certain extent, and I think part of that is just trying to be as like universal. Like they don't want to go too down deep into one religion or lore or whatever else, and try to keep it vague and kind of universal, I suppose. But they did name I don't remember in the third one, but I know the nun's name is Valak, and the ghost in the first one is Bathsheba, I think. And that comes right from the original Conjuring house lore as well. So it was definitely surprising that they really did not go into the kind of history, put a name to it or anything. It was just the history that they had with the Warrens, and that was really about it. We did watch that
that's
kind
super
of like
long
mini it wasn't really a mini documentary. It was really long about the Smurls. I didn't really see much of a resemblance to what we were seeing in the movie, but I didn't really like remember that documentary. It was just a guy like reciting the story, so it was kind of like
there was definitely like a bed hovering over the bed thing, and there was like a big fan or light fixture fell and almost killed them, or so they brought a couple of scares. The house was either was the same house or it was very similar.
The mirror seems to be completely fictional, or they took that from it. Doesn't seem like, I don't remember them mentioning a mirror in the documentary.
In the real haunting, the real story, And,
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. I thought that would be the central part of it. And I did think using the mirror as like the conduit for the demon to like, get into the house and everything. And the grandparents like, oh, we bought it for you for your communion. Or it was our confirmation. Like,
that was like, really?
Oh yeah, that would be a great gift. Thanks, Grammy. Thanks, Grampy. But I thought the mirror part was kind of cool, and how the girl struggled to get out of the house, and then it broke, and then it was back, and
Yeah, I'm like, how did it get back? I was like, that was just magical.
Magical, very magical. But I thought that the mirror itself was kind it was cool that it was like a haunted mirror. I thought that brought a new, dynamic into like a different type of way the demon could like interact and take control. But no, I agree with a lot of it. Just seemed to me it seemed kind of generic, like it's just a generic sort of scary movie that wasn't that scary. But I agree that the cast and the plot and the character dynamic really rescued that movie.
Yeah, and the fact that like these movies have done very well, make a lot of money, so the budget was there to make the production. Including the cast, but just the effects and everything else were all up to par.
I do feel like they really captured like the 70s / esque the way the houses looked and the dressing, how everyone was dressed.
And when they drove over the bridge and they showed the smoky town with the steel mill in the background. That stuff would have
been my
almost like matte paintings or whatever.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool, like the giant industrial. It could even it just added this kind of creepy vibe. Like you had the cute little neighborhood house on the street, and then just the giant industrial, gross, spewing fumes and everything everywhere. I thought that was a really cool backdrop to have.
Yep, and a lower middle class family that they couldn't afford to leave the house. I thought they kind of they painted that into a pretty good picture as well.
I think that pretty much, I would say solid because of the family dynamics and character interactions, and it brought all of that back home full circle. My favorite scene, I think, my favorite scare scene was, I don't know, it might have been a dream sequence, but when the giant Annabelle doll is coming down the hallway and it flashes, that was, because of course you can't have a Conjuring movie without some reference to Annabelle.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, as the movie, that's another good point, because as the movie wore on, Judy seemed to have a real somehow I was like, oh, was she in the Annabelle? Was their daughter? She seemed to have a strong connection to the Annabelle doll,
and that's why it showed it. Yeah,
that kept coming up. Annabelle kept coming up with her, and maybe they just wanted to shout out Annabelle because it's the last movie a lot. But
I think
that was excellent.
But yeah, she does have there, and I think it's in the second one where the young Judy has a kind of a B plot, a side plot where she's at home with the babysitter while they're out doing their thing, and Annabelle is terrorizing them. I can't remember exactly what the context was, but something like that.
So I think that is a wrap on The Conjuring. I think we're all basically 2 thumbs up, not super enthusiastic, but if you enjoyed any of the other Conjuring universe movies, you probably will enjoy this one.
Yes, go see it.
There you have it. And with that, I know we don't have time to do, or the opportunity to do, a full recap on Wednesday season 2. We were going to devote an episode to that, but not going to be able to. But I do want to spend a few minutes on it because we watched that just recently. I know, Cam, you weren't able to get through all of it, but Jen, I'll start with you since it's primarily you and I have seen it. What were your initial thoughts on the second
Wednesday?
Season?
I loved it. I loved the first season. I was really looking forward to the second season. I thought the characters were great. Great job. I thought it was visually so beautiful. I love Nevermore. I love the castle. I love the scenes. I mean, it was a little hokey when they did the camping, the camping scene and stuff like that. But I think the characters are so great. I really loved all of it. Pugsley drives me a little crazy. Yeah. I think he's just such a doofus. It irritates me. The character was fine. The kid who plays him is fine. But I just thought that was kind of, I don't know. But I also really liked how Slurp the zombie ended up actually being part of the story. And how that kind of plot came about. I don't know if, are we getting too into spoilers? I don't know. Whatever, let it rip. But Kim, you didn't finish it though, right?
No, it didn't really hook me. Not that it was necessarily bad. I just wasn't really feeling it, and there was some other stuff that I wanted to watch and just kind of petered out. But I mean, I like the production, and I'm just not a huge Addams Family fan, to be honest.
I wasn't before either. This. I think it's this that's pulled me into it, and just Jenna and Emma and the rest of the cast, and just the fact that they're doing it, kind of turning it into kind of a Potter teen movie thing is what I thought was great about it.
And I love the grandmother.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She's
Joanna
a
Lumley.
badass. Yeah, I like
We
her.
have to look up some of her because she's a classic scream queen. So we'll have to find some movies that she's in.
Oh, we definitely should. That's a good idea. We should do that. But yeah, overall, I mean, like I have some problems with some parts of it. I think with Tyler's mother and uncle were really creepily close, like borderline incestuous in their relationship. It was a little odd, a little hard to take. I thought that was a little weird. But no, I thought like the insane asylum like scenes were great and the monsters were good. Like I thought overall it was very entertaining. I think I want to go back and watch season 1 again. Ron, you said you did.
I did, and it made because the first couple of episodes I know we said as we were watching it, and I don't know if this had an impact on you, Cam. I thought, and I don't know if there was a quick recap at the beginning of it, but like I thought I pretty much remembered what happened. But then when we were watching it, I'm like, who's this and what?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of like impacted my enjoyment or just it coming together for me the first couple of episodes. But then as it went on, it got better. Overall, I loved season 2. I think season 1 was better and more of a focused story. I also think, like, you know, you talked about that when they go away to the summer camp and square off against the Cubs, the Boy Scout troop and all that.
Didn't care for that part so much.
It was, but that was a little bit more because, like, you know, everything you heard from Jenna Ortega was like, oh, this season's going to be more scary and it's not going to be focused on like romance and all that. And I actually think this season felt more family oriented, at least in parts, and less scary than when I went back and watched the first season. Yeah, you know, and it waxes and wanes between that, and I think intentionally. But overall, it's good. Jenna and Emma, continue to be really great. I thought the body swap episode was
great.
Fantastic.
They did a great job.
They did
imitating each other's characters and stuff. I thought that was pretty good.
They did a really
Very
good
well
job.
done.
And just setting up where she's going to go. The new characters they bring in, like the Billie Piper, who's a Doctor Who alum. She played the sort of music teacher, that kind of role similar to what Christina Ricci played last year, although she came back too. I think a lot of it seemed like there was a lot of B plots and I think there was a lot of wanting to bring back that Tyler, and played by Hunter Doohan, as the Hyde, and so it seemed like there was a mystery over here, and then Jenna wanted to get her sort of powers back, and then there was the Enid was gonna, she was gonna be responsible for Enid's death, and then that got wrapped up, and then we're over here. So it was a little bit of a less focused plot.
I can see that, but I also feel like they're setting up now season 3, which I'm really looking forward to Enid's story.
Yeah.
Like where she goes and how at the end, spoiler, that Wednesday is gonna, go find her friend and help her as she becomes an alpha
I think they're definitely
werewolf.
going to get more off campus.
Yeah.
My other nitpick is especially I noticed this when I went back and watched season 1 again. I loved how it was focused on Wednesday and her roommate and her getting used to living at the school, and then all the things that happened. I thought there was a little too much for me. I know probably from the show's standpoint, they wanted to get Louise Guzman and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, it was
and the
very
whole
family oriented more than just being about the students and I think I agree with you, Ron.
I thought that detracted from where it was just, I'm alone. It's not alone at school, but like I'm at school, I'm on my own. I'm trying to navigate all this stuff and solve the mystery. I felt like I was like, okay, can they go back home?
Yeah, right.
But
I would have agreed. I agree with that. If there was less family involvement and it was more about the students at Nevermore doing this on their own, consulting with family when needed, but really solving these mysteries and going through this themselves, I think it would have been a little bit more appealing.
Definitely.
But overall, still great.
Yeah, definitely. So just a little recap on that. 2 thumbs up for Wednesday. Like I said, for me, first season a little stronger than the second season, but both great, and looking forward to. Seems like they're going to get off campus a little bit more as they go forward,
which will be fun. Definitely. And now I'm just looking through. So we've finished up Wednesday. We have some other things we're looking forward to.
That Stephen King series.
Yeah, Welcome to Derry. I don't know if we mentioned that last podcast. I forget, but we're looking forward to checking that out. And we have some other movies coming up too that we wanted to see. Now I see Lady in White just got updated on the list. We have Barbarian on here.
Yep, we haven't seen that.
I wanted to see Smile 2. I heard it was good. I liked the first one. So I'm looking forward to that one too. And I have never seen Cabin in the Woods, and you guys are
yeah.
I know, shock, right?
Oh, wow.
I have no idea why. I've just never seen it.
That's a good one.
So I have that on my list too. I want to catch up and watch that one. Any other recommendations? Anything you're looking forward to, Cam?
Let's see. Don't go see Him. I just saw Him, and I thought that was not very good. I thought the trailer looked pretty interesting, but not. The execution wasn't there at all, unfortunately. I'm trying to think, what else? No, they're re-releasing a whole bunch of stuff. I know The Descent is being re-released. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Trick or Treat.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see that again, too. Yeah, that was one of our kind of cult classic favorites there. We really liked that from.
They said that the new one, Whisper, with Daphne Keane.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw something like that. Something about that.
That looks interesting.
I'll have to watch a trailer for that.
Yeah, tons of stuff coming up. Still, I think we're still at like 60 days out from Stranger Things.
Oh, wow, jeez.
Because they didn't do it Halloween. They pushed it to like Thanksgiving, and it's going to be like a Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of. That's the way they're releasing it.
Which is disappointing.
Yeah.
I've really lost touch with the whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I just need to probably rewatch all of it to get back and it was so great, and they did such a great job. It's just been way too long in between the seasons.
Definitely. All right, well, that is a wrap for us for this episode. Thank you very much for listening and finding us wherever you're listening to us, and finding us, please, wherever you do. Like and subscribe. Leave us a comment on our Facebook page or anywhere that there's an opportunity to leave a comment. We appreciate that. And we will see you shortly. I don't know what the next episode is going to be, but there's a ton of stuff coming out, so we'll be back very soon.
Definitely some more horror movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spooky season. Here we go.
Kicking it off. Well, thanks for having me again, guys.
Thank you, Jen, and we will see you on the next one.